Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Director Chopra, as I'm sure you heard during my opening comments, the CFPB's Civil Investigative Demand, or CID process, is a prime example of your agency's vast attempts at regulatory overreach in an effort to chase obscure objectives and pet interests. A company, a small business, subject to one of your CIDs can spend years and hundreds of thousands, if not millions of dollars, attempting to comply with never-ending CFPB demands. Adding insult to injury, a company subject to CID compliance can be left hopeless for change, since any appeal is ultimately described and determined by you, the judge, and the jury. In fact, under your leadership, all CID appeal requests have been denied. And just a few months ago, you eliminated the role of the Associate Director of the Division of Supervision, giving yourself even greater control over all appeal decisions. How many CIDs has the CFPB issued under your leadership?
So let me say up top that enforcing the law doesn't just protect consumers, it protects honest businesses.
How many CIDs?
And let me just also correct that that's not true.
How many have you?
I don't have the exact number.
10, 50,
well, we have
500?
During my time as director, we've I think recovered around $8 billion. So that's been a lot of enforcement actions.
Yeah, I mean, there's no doubt that you've been.
Senator, I have
no doubt.
I would be eager to meet with you. I would like to really discuss this with you. Our enforcement program has shifted away from small actors to large repeat offenders.
Well, factually,
there's certainly the need to use civil investigative
I would
demands.
love to see your process work, but it's like having a bully in a school that keeps beating on.
This is how every other agency works as well.
Actually, you're one agency is the one agency that does not flow through Congress.
That's also not true. Most other financial
regulatory
agencies do that.
The bottom line
we are
is
going to keep doing
you
our
have
enforcement work.
consistently abused your power.
That is
frankly,
totally
I asked
not
you a
true,
specific
Senator.
question as it relates to the CIDs, and I get no answer. So let me go on to a different question, because I like the marketing strategy from the Biden administration as it relates to junk fees, because frankly, if you say the word junk fees, you assume that those junk fees are just unnecessary. I'm not sure that the average business person and or the consumer would see the late fees, the overdraft fees, and non-sufficient fund fees as junk fees. There's no question that the Biden administration has done a fabulous job of trying to highlight and market to the American people that these fees are unnecessary. Well, you said it's $10 billion. I'll take your word on that. The bottom line is simply this, that as a business functions, if you do not collect those fees from people who are delinquent on their payments, then you find those fees someplace else. So the fee structure may go away, but the revenues must be replaced by something else. And they're consistently replaced by either higher interest rates on credit cards or higher fees on accounts, or the elimination of those accounts, because if you can't find the revenues to maintain profitability from that sector of your business, what you essentially do is you eliminate them. Having been in business for 20 plus years, I can tell you that the bottom line is a simple one, that if your lowest performing consumers aren't incentivized to continue to perform better, you typically stop offering those products and services to those consumers. And when that happens, they don't just stop asking for the resources, they go to a different market where the interest rates are higher and or where there is no regulation whatsoever. Why are late fees okay for government agencies like the IRS, but not okay for businesses?
Well, so there's a congressional ban on unreasonable credit card penalties. And when the rules were implemented over a decade ago, there was a loophole which the credit card industry's lawyers have just driven a truck through to the tune of $10 billion a year. I think junk fees are a huge problem in our economy. I think it's one that is bipartisan in nature in terms of reform. People are really sick and tired of not seeing the full cost up front, but rather being nickeled and dimed on the back end. The thing about capitalism that's great, when you can compare the prices clearly, the best offerer will win out. But when you make the pricing so complex and convoluted, that's not good for the honest businesses. And frankly, our smaller banks and credit unions don't build a business model off of this loophole, and we should be doing more to support them, I think.
I would simply say that speaking with forked tongue is common in the Biden administration, number one. Number two, I would simply say this, as my time is running out, according to the chairman's red button. I wish we had congressional bans on the IRS charging late fees and interest on balances due. I wish we had a consistent standard applied to the public sector as we do the private sector. We'd probably have a better outcomes.
We should work on that together.
Thank you.